Hi, my name is Lilian and I am the head of HR at Standard Chartered. I'm here to talk to you today about COVID-19, the impact that it has had on jobs, on people, and what you can do to make yourself resilient during this time. Now, I've often been asked, what do we do during this time? How do we maintain our employment? How do we make sure that we are still safe? Now, it depends on individual organizations. Some companies might opt to do pay cuts. Some other companies might opt to still keep all their people. And at the same time, they would ask you to work from home. So what has happened during this COVID-19 is that a lot of companies have realized that people can work effectively at home. So it's also had a shift in the mindset in terms of how things can be delivered the same way, but from different spaces. So what can you do to make sure that you remain safe? One, be diligent, continue focusing on what you're there to do. If you lose focus and if you're so focused on everything else around you that you forget what brought you there in the first place, it's very easy for you to find yourself in a very tricky situation. And of course, I'm sure disciplinary management processes continue as is. So make sure that you remain focused on what you're there to do. When you're working from home, it's difficult sometimes with your kids, distractions. So try and keep a routine that works for you. Try to isolate yourself from others. Make sure that you're in a space where you can work comfortably, but also take enough breaks. What happens is that most people find themselves working more from home and they don't take the breaks. They don't do what they need to do to get a brain break. And sometimes it gets frustrating and it might also affect your mental health. So really plan your day carefully. If you woke up at 5 o'clock before, don't change that time, maintain it. Try and utilize the extra hours that you have to enhance your new skill. Maybe go online and read what's new out there and so forth. Now, moving on to COVID-19, of course, it has changed the way employers think about businesses, but also a lot has changed in terms of skills. What skill sets do we need now? If you notice, a lot more things are being done online. Phone calls, whether it's Zoom, whether it's whatever technology you use, whether it's Skype and so forth. So it means that technology has come forward really fast. Where we initially were meeting face to face, now we're meeting over the phone and still getting the same things done. So there's a lot of focus on digital skills. So what I would encourage you to do is embrace digital skills. Embrace digital. A lot is happening around you. For us, our bank is going digital. What does that mean? You do everything on your phone, on your laptop, wherever you are, anywhere that you are. Vodacom, all the telecoms that are out there, that's what they do as well. You can do all your transactions with your phones. So digital skills are becoming a fast embraced skill that everyone is looking out to be a part of, but also analytical skills. We also need to enhance our analytical minds. We need to look at insights. What do the insights tell us? How do we turn data into meaningful information that we can use for the future? Something I saw on social media a few weeks ago struck me as very interesting. I saw somebody who had posted that nowadays on Instagram, you can actually track who the followers are of a specific person, and you can tag the followers to a brand, meaning that if somebody follows a celebrity on certain matters, if they're posting about makeup or anything, and you see that more followers are increasing as they post that, you take those insights and you go to a makeup brand and you say, you know what, I can increase your sales. Let's use this person to endorse your product, and don't worry, you'll get what you're looking for. So that tells you that it's no longer about what we know as traditional jobs. It's about looking at new things, new ways of thinking. And it's really important for us to see what else we can do out there. I've also had a question about vocational skills. What about us? Luckily enough, we're in Africa. Africa is not behind the world. We're actually moving very fast. We're growing at a faster pace than most continents. But the good thing about being in Africa, being in Tanzania, there's plenty of opportunities here, be it manufacturing sector, be it the tourism industry, be it tourism, I don't know what else to say, but there's a lot of opportunities out here. So when it comes to enhancing your vocational skills that you might have gotten from VETA, from Don Bosco, wherever you are, it's still a great opportunity for you to go out there and make use of it. I know time has been set back in terms of how we're learning, but do not shy yourself off continuous learning. If you have a smartphone, go online. Instead of going on Facebook and Instagram throughout, just look at something meaningful to you in terms of what new skill you can learn to add up to what you already know. The future of work. What does it mean? We've all been in our homes, we've all been working from home, or if you're working from offices or from wherever you are, it means that you've been taking extra care in terms of how you manage yourself. We've been told by WHO that COVID-19 will be with us for quite some time. So what does that mean? It means we need to learn how to live with it, we need to learn how to thrive with it there, and we need to continue with life. But it's not business as usual. There's no way that anyone can tell me what was there 2 months ago is the same thing that is there today. There's a lot that has changed, and that means that we also need to reorganize ourselves in terms of, can we continue working from home? Does everyone need to be working from the office? And if people are working from home, how do you make them work from home comfortably? As employers, we should be concerned about how to make sure that our people are comfortable and still being able to be productive, and they have the right space and mind space to be able to do that. Now, for those who are working in offices, definitely that might continue, but of course you will have to think differently about how you manage yourself, still being safe, still thinking about the future skills that you require. Anyone who's doing anything that is technical, again, same thing continues. We are advancing slowly, and I do believe that whatever skills we're learning today will slowly transform into a digital space, whereby our skills will still be needed, our technical skills, but now we'll improve on the functional skills that we need to gain as well. When it comes to youth, we know many of you are graduating, many of you are finishing your courses, and you may be concerned about what's next for me. One, register yourself at a website that typically helps with careers. So we've got a lot locally, and many of them are out there talking to youth. So please make sure that you look for them. Two, make sure your CV is on point. On point, we don't mean that we expect you to have 10 years of experience. No, that would not be fair. But what you don't realize is that your experience is more than enough, even in university. So you need to make sure that you put through the competencies that you've gained. They might not be as advanced as when you're working, but it's still something to put it through there. Do not put your whole life story there. I have seen cover pages that start with, I am an 18-year-old or 20-year-old from somewhere and somewhere. I have families here and there. Don't give all those stories. I think you need to focus on the skill set that you hope to bring on board, and also keep an open mind about learning. The one thing that we tend to make a mistake as young people is going to something thinking that we know it all and not leaving any room for growth. No one stops at learning. Even at 90s, you still continue learning. So please have that open mindset. When it comes to jobs, again, we look for people who are flexible. We're looking for people who are agile now. And agile thinking, agile minds, agile mindset, all those are critical things. If you don't know what that means, please make sure and go look it up. We're also looking for people who can be very fluid. You know, the world is changing so fast. So much has changed within the last few weeks, and we've had to adapt to it. So you need to make sure that you're fluid to that as well. We also need to have people who are tough-skinned. A lot happens, a lot doesn't go right. And when that happens, you need to be able to take it in and see how you can improve yourself or do something better. But also, we like people who challenge status quo, people who know that you can do things differently. The good thing about youth is that we have so many people with so many brilliant ideas, but often they're too shy to talk about them. So please try and maintain some confidence, learn to be confident, and be careful not to be arrogant. There's a very thin line between being confident and being arrogant. And sometimes we don't see the difference. So it's good to also ask, how am I doing? What do you think about this? Am I okay in the way I'm communicating? Should I improve on anything? It's important to ask others. Stop, pause, reflect, and then go back to doing something. Now, I truly believe that this change is going to be a great one for many of us. And even if there are no jobs out there, I think it's also a great opportunity for us to explore entrepreneurship. What new things are needed right now? Everybody's focusing about digital. So how can you bring the digital mindset into what your technical skills are? So try and look into that as well and explore further. Talk to people about it, get some funding and go with it. The time is now. Please continue to be evolving, continue to be agile, continue to be fluid. Continuous learning is very important, and continuous change. Embrace change wherever you are. If you're thinking about university, I would say go for it. It's a great platform for you to see the world in a different space. What happens before that is that we're learning so much about geography as it was, history as it was, whatever subject it is that you are. But university also brings you into a kind of socialization into the real world. Here you get to be responsible for yourself, you get to be responsible for your learning. And the best part about it is there's so many organizations in universities that actually get to grow you. One of them being ISEC. And why I speak about ISEC is because it's one of the best platforms for anyone who wants to grow and be best fit for employment or even entrepreneurship should go through. So go there, challenge yourself, do a lot more. You'll be placed in charge of group work. Sometimes you have to be a leader. There's a lot of skills that you gain from such activities. And university is the best platform before getting into the real world to really understand who you are, what you want to do, and where you want to go. A lot of people ask me about youth and work. Young people tend to look for, especially millennials, I don't consider myself so much of a millennial, but millennials look at growing fast. They look at growing fast, learning and doing a lot more at a very fast pace. It's well and good to come in with some speed, but also you need to pace yourself, because sometimes you can come in with so much speed that, again, you don't allow room for you to grow. You don't allow room for you to be challenged. You don't allow room for you to actually experience the whole growth experience. So please, once you join a company, try and take your time, learn people around you, understand people around you, learn how to work with different personalities, different characters. Not everyone might be happy with you because you're so young and you might seem to be at a different pace, but that's a place for you to learn to be humble, step back, and learn how to deal with other people and still get people to do things without making it seem as if you're telling them or talking at them. So that's one of the best skills. You need to invest in interpersonal skills. What can you do to enhance your skills? So locally, for recent graduates, postgraduates, or anyone else who's looking for a job, there are some great companies that can help you find jobs. There's a company called Niajiri. Empower is quite rigorous in their recruitment for graduates. So once more, just sign up to them and see how you can enter their programs that will also teach you not only soft skills, but also skills that will be essential for you when you join the workforce. Another thing that I often recommend is joining LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional platform. It's a social media platform, but much more professional. It's different from Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter and the rest. This is where you get to meet professionals. There's a new tool that allows people to ask for mentors. And when you ask for a mentor, you can be connected to someone in your local area who can advise you or guide you on certain skill set that you're looking for, or even where to apply for jobs, or sometimes get advice for something that will help you in your endeavors. So please do that. Online, there's so many platforms. Some of them are free. They are free products, especially now during COVID-19. We've got plenty of programs offering free educational tips, free courses for you to be able to enhance your skills. So try and look for them. One of them is edX. I've seen that. I quite like the tool. It's also an app on your phone. You can download it and you can make sure that you gain plenty more learnings from that. LinkedIn also has learning solutions, and there's other ones that are quite free today. If you go to Harvard Business Review webpage, they also have free courses. Can you imagine doing a course that is from Harvard? They are there. Just make sure that you look for those opportunities. My last parting words to you will be, remain curious, look for things that resonate with you, be passionate, and also just know that just because you come with an engineering background or if you come from a different course, it doesn't mean that you cannot do anything new. What we employers love is people who are so flexible that despite your background, you're willing to do something new, because that also shows that you're fluid, you're flexible, and you're able to learn new things. So just go for it, give it a shot, and make sure that you make the best of it. If you haven't worked for some time as well, don't worry about that. Not all employers focus on the gap that you've had for 2 years. They would most likely ask you what you're looking forward to doing. So be sure of what exactly it is that you want to do. I wish you all the best. You will be okay. We'll be in this together. If you need advice, I'm also on LinkedIn. Look for me. I'm happy to be a mentor on LinkedIn as well. And all the best. Have a good one. Take care and be safe.